Hold on to your butt. Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Man here. Hope you're doing well. And guess what? Normally on Mondays, the movie theaters, Regal and AMC, normally have a surprise movie. At AMC, they call it the mystery movie. Or at Regal, they call it, or it's the other way around. At Regal, it's the mystery movie. At AMC, it's the Screen Unseen, where you buy a ticket and you have no idea what that movie's going to be, and you sit down and you won't know until the movie starts. I have never participated in one of those, and normally they put out like smaller films, like independent movies to get the word out before the movie actually comes out. But they've never done big blockbuster movies, ever. In the 3 to 4 years they've been doing this, they never put out like a Marvel movie, 10 days in advance for you to see, or, Fast and Furious, or, a Mission Impossible, any giant blockbuster movie, like Fantastic Four. You're not going to get well, maybe they might do that now, I don't know. But, I have never done one of these before, and like, I don't want to pay money, and it's only $5. So it doesn't matter what movie theater, the ticket is only $5. So, and that's for a 7 o'clock movie, which normally the price would be like $18 or $20. So it is a good deal. And I think they do that because they're like, well, if the person doesn't like the movie, we're not going to charge them a lot of money if they have no idea what the movie is going to be. So, smart. But I had this weird feeling. When you get that feeling sometimes that you're just like, I've never done one of these before. But the word on the street was, it was either going to be F1, the new Brad Pitt movie, which I'm dying to see, even though that does come out this Friday. So I was like, well, I can either, if they do have it on Monday, I'll see it early, or I can just wait till Thursday night or Friday to go see it. So either way, but then they said it might be Jurassic World Rebirth, the new Jurassic World movie, and I thought, no. That movie is still like 10 days out. They're having the Los Angeles premiere that Monday night. I doubt it's going to be Jurassic World. I mean, I will love it, and I'm a huge fan of the Jurassic Park franchise. I am one of those kids that truly grew up with Jurassic Park. I saw the first one in 1993, not in a movie theater, in a drive-in movie theater. And that was my first ever experience in a drive-in movie theater. And ever since then, I have not missed a single Jurassic Park movie in the theater. 97 during Memorial Day weekend, they had The Lost World. In 2001, we were down in Florida for our weekly summer vacation, and one night we went and saw Jurassic Park 3. Then 14 years later, when we got Jurassic World, I saw that twice that weekend it came out. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I saw that opening night. And then the last one, Jurassic World Dominion, that came out 3 years ago. I saw that, and I wish I didn't. I love dinosaurs. You gotta love dinosaurs. So I was looking forward to this. This is kind of like, it's not a reboot. It's a brand new cast, brand new cast of characters. This is set 5 years after Dominion came out 3 years ago. So they are putting a little bit of space in between. And this is directed by Gareth Edwards, who did movies like Godzilla in 2014, Rogue One in 2016, and then a couple years ago he had the movie The Creator with John David Washington. So overall, I'm not saying this is like a favorite director, but his movies do visually look stunning. And I was wondering what he was going to do with the Jurassic Park franchise. Also, they brought back the original screenwriter, David Coep, who wrote the first Jurassic Park and the second Jurassic Park, the ones directed by Steven Spielberg. So I was like, okay, you got the original screenwriter, that's good. You got a director who's visually stunning movies, and also good. The creator was really good. A lot of people like Rogue One, the best Star Wars movie that Disney has put out. And a lot of people like that first Godzilla movie that we got 11 years ago. And like that, apparently Steven Spielberg was very heavily involved in the script. So I'm like, okay, it's Jurassic, you got dinosaurs, you got David Cope, you got Steven Spielberg, you got Scarlett Johansson in there. Scarlett Johansson fighting dinosaurs. Was there more not to love? You got Mahershala Ali in here. He can't do a Blade movie, but he can go fight dinosaurs. Okay. Somehow they announced that Blade movie 6 years ago, and we still haven't gotten the Blade film. But somehow he made time to get cast, shoot, and then promote a whole new Jurassic Park movie. But no Blade. No Blade? No Blade. Why can't we just have Blade fighting dinosaurs? There we go. Win-win. So yeah, I mean, all the pieces were in place. I said, let's go. And like I said, I was sitting in that movie theater, they were showing advertisements for F1. A lot of people around me were like, oh, it's going to be F1, it's going to be F1. And then, right before the movie starts, like they've been doing with a lot of blockbusters, someone from the cast comes on screen, thank you for coming to the movie theater. We're so happy to see you. I hope you enjoy our film, Jurassic World Rebirth. And everyone in the audience went, yeah. Me too. Yes, Jurassic Park, 10 days early. This is going to be great for my channel. Jurassic World Rebirth. Positives. Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson's been around, ever since Home Alone 3 in 97, playing the kid's sister. And once again in 97, we got The Lost World. And Scarlett Johansson has been saying in interviews, every time there was a Jurassic Park movie, I tried to get in, and I could never get in for some reason. And now I have the opportunity to get into a Jurassic Park film. I met with Steven Spielberg, I met with Gareth Edwards, and they even wrote the character with Scarlett Johansson involved. And once again, Scarlett Johansson fits into this world. She looks great. I mean, someone who's in her 40s now, it's like, you haven't aged at all. She's tough. She's a mercenary. She fought in the military, so she has combat experience. And I think she fits into this role perfectly. Yeah, we've been watching her as Black Widow for 10 years in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I really love her, like her character in this movie. She has great chemistry with Mahershala Ali, who they used to be workers, partners in the military bros. Well, she's not a bro. Well, you know where I'm going with that. And but then her chemistry with Jonathan Bailey is so good that I'm going to get into one of those why it's also a negative. Not because of them, because of the script. That she has great chemistry with him. And like that, when you look at Scarlett Johansson, she looks like someone that could continue this franchise. Like she could do a trilogy of Jurassic World movies. Kind of like Sigourney Weaver as Ripley. Now we got Scarlett Johansson fighting dinosaurs. And it's worked. Jonathan Bailey. I don't know Jonathan Bailey that well. Even though I did see him in the Wicked movie that came out at the end of last year. And when I saw that movie, I don't know that guy. Who's that guy? And all the girls he's the guy from Bridgerton. Like, well, I never watched that show, so not my cup of tea. But he is that character. He's a scientist. He's very nerdy. And he works in this movie. What I love about his character is he brings that wonder. Like when he sees dinosaurs for the first time, he has that happy, gleeful wonder. Oh my God, it's a dinosaur. Kind of like Sam Neill, Alan Grant in the first Jurassic Park. When he's wearing the glasses, you know, he's wearing the glasses, and it's a dinosaur. And then he goes up and touches the dinosaur. Yeah. That's what Jonathan Bailey does in this movie. And you know what? I love that. And you know why I love that? Because even even though I do like Jurassic World, and I like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, we haven't had that wonder in a Jurassic Park. Not even Jurassic Park 3. Because they're all running from the dinosaurs. They're trying to find the kid. So really, ever since like Jurassic World, or the Lost World, Jurassic Park, and of course the original Jurassic Park, have we had that wonder where the characters are actually amazed and gleeful and happy to see a fucking dinosaur. And I really want to see more of him and Scarlett Johansson moving forward. David McCone is another, he's like the MVP of, now this is a character that people are either going to love or hate. They can be very irritated by him or just like, hey, he brings a lot of the humor and levity to the movie. He plays the boyfriend of this other family's daughter that they're dating, and he brings so much humor. How do I describe this character? If you've seen the movie The Descendants with George Clooney and Shailene Woodley, he is like Shailene Woodley's boyfriend in that movie. He says the stupidest stuff, he does the stupidest stuff. The dad rolls his eyes, but the daughter still loves him, and you're just waiting for someone to punch him in the face. That's the guy in Jurassic World Rebirth. You love him, but you hate him, and you think he's an idiot. But you still love him at the same time. And he just brings a lot of the humor about this movie is that the cinematography in this film, finally, like going back to the original, you get a sense of scale between how big these dinosaurs are, how massive these dinosaurs are compared to us humans. The way that Gareth Edwards shoots this film, you understand the scale and the size of these things that we haven't seen since the original Jurassic Park. And I think that really helps on a level of the wonder and amazement of these creatures. Two, and give you that input of, these things are fucking massive. These are fucking monsters. Get the fuck out of there. These things are gonna kill you. They barely have to step on you, and you're gonna die. And I think it just expands that scope of these creatures. The action, this movie is filled with action. The water boat scene in the first act where you see the Spinosauruses and the Moliosaurus, the one in the water that we saw in Jurassic World. That is by far one of the best sequences in this movie. It's long, and there's a lot of tension, a lot of suspense. People die. It's definitely one of the best scenes in the movie. The pterodactyl sequence is also a really good highlight one. The raft with the T-Rex, it's good. But I'm going to get into my negatives with that one. And, like I said, I thought the action was good. You go into these movies to see dinosaurs eating people, and action. You get it. CGI, this movie, I've complained a lot with the recent Jurassic World movies. is that they rely too much on CGI. Why can't we go back to what was great about the original? Steven Spielberg was able to mix CGI when it was only necessary, and when it was only necessary was more in the wide shots, wide, where you see the whole dinosaur frame with a human. Those are CGI shots. And guess what? Since they are so wide, you can't tell that it's CGI because it looks so good because of how they framed it. A lot of the Jurassic Park movies, Jurassic World movies, have relied way too heavily on CGI. To the point that they still don't know how to do it right, because even the close-up shots are CGI. And that's when you can really tell. That's CGI, that ain't real. Not that they're real to begin with, or else we would be completely fucked. But why not use animatronic dinosaurs that are animatronics right there, look very real, like they did in the original, that whole T-Rex scene, when the T-Rex goes to the car, and you got Dr. Alan Grant and the kid, and he's just right there, that is an animatronic. That looks fucking real. That's fucking scary. But this one, yes, is all CGI. But, once again, Gareth Edwards knows how to shoot it in a way that it looks excellent. The CGI in this movie looks great. This movie is the second longest in the franchise, at 2 hours and 14 minutes. And I thought it was well paced. In this movie, there are two groups. And this goes along with the script. There's two. Also, by the way, there's a concert tonight across the street. Right now they're practicing. So if you're hearing some background noise, that isn't me. That's across the street. There's a concert, which I can't help. I cannot help that. But in the movie, there are two groups. There's the group that's going to the island to get DNA from certain dinosaurs to cure heart disease. And then there's another group, there's a family who just went out sailing in the summertime. They go out sailing, and of course they're sailing around a dinosaur island. Now we've seen that before in Jurassic Park 3, but no, two groups. So we're going back, they meet up at one point, then they get separated again, and during that time we're going back and forth between each group, which makes the pacing go quicker. If there's action going on here, then we cut back over here, and there's action and humor going on, so it makes the pacing go quicker. Some of my negatives with this movie. This is a Jurassic Park movie. I want to reiterate, this is a Jurassic Park movie. This is movie number 7 now in the franchise. 7 years with the 7 years with the dolphins. Or 7 years with dinosaurs. Or 7 movies, not 7 years. 7 movies with the dinosaurs. Which means, if you've ever seen a Jurassic Park film, you know that Steven Spielberg, the producer of these movies, has a criteria. And that criteria is, you don't kill kids. You don't kill the kids. No matter what. No matter what. Even though there are a million times in this movie that the kids, the teenagers, the little girl, should be fucking dead. There is no fucking way that that little girl would survive. The T-Rex is literally biting down on the raft with the little girl inside. She's a fucking goner. And there are other moments. But once again, we have to suspend our disbelief and say, oh yes, this is a Jurassic Park movie. Steven Spielberg doesn't kill kids. Why? Because at one point in his life he got soft. And he said, I have my own children now, and I am going to vow not to kill kids in my movie. We've seen it time and time and time and time again. Just look at War of the Worlds back in 2005. Somehow the teenage boy survived at the end of that movie. What the fuck? And ever since then he has vowed, even though there was a time when Steven Spielberg said, guess what? We're fucking killing the kid. That kid on the raft in Jaws, little Alex. Well, little Alex is gonna die. And we saw Sharky come up to the raft, bite him, and all the blood, and little Alex died. But for some reason, Steven Spielberg doesn't want to do that anymore. Which hurts these movies. Every time because A, you're casting kids. And we know they're not going to die. So we're like, why not just do a movie with no kids? Do a Jurassic Park movie with no kids. Because every time you put a kid in these movies, we know they're not going to die. There is no fucking way that Trevor Morgan from Jurassic Park 3 was able to be on that island for over a month and a half by himself with no food, no guns, no nothing, and survived an island with fucking dinosaurs. That does not happen. But somehow he did. He did. We don't know. We don't know. We do know. Because Steven Spielberg says, you can't kill kids in Jurassic Park movies. The end. And also, once you find out who the villain is, you know that villain is going to have a gruesome death. You just know it. You know, the blood-sucking lawyer in Jurassic Park 1, or Ned Needry, you know. Johnson, we got Johnson here. Yeah, he's a goner. Jurassic Park 2, with the other lawyer, the nephew of John Hammond, the little nerd with the glasses. Jurassic Park 3, well, he didn't die, he should have died. The guy who wanted the egg for himself, Billy boy. And so on and so forth. Jurassic World, Vincent D'Onofrio. You get the point. The villain is, once you know who the villain is, they're gonna die. I wanted more Mahershala Ali. You got Mahershala Ali, two-time Academy Award winner in a Jurassic Park movie, and they really don't do much with him. I was kind of bummed about that. I wish they had him and more involved in the action. Yes, going back to that raft sequence. I don't blame the movie, I blame the marketing. The raft sequence was originally in the original book, Jurassic Park. And Steven Spielberg wanted to put that in the original movie. Which that would have been fantastic with the hands of Steven Spielberg with Alan Grant and Rex and Tim. Oh boy. Especially they did it at night. But the problem is they've showed so much of that raft sequence in the marketing that when you see it in the movie, you're just like, I've seen 90% of this. It's a good sequence, even though nobody dies, because we got kids. But you showed most of it in the trailers. I also think it would have been better instead of doing it during the day, if they shot that sequence like at night. They could have added more suspense, more tension, more scares. The new dinosaur. We've seen this new dinosaur. You see it in the trailers. He looks like the Scarlett monster from Return of the Jedi in the pit when they drop Luke Skywalker in Jabba the Hutt's little thingy-majigger, and he gets dropped down in the pigmen. Yeah, you know. He looks like him. He looks like that monster. I mean, you took the design of the monster from Return of the Jedi and just added some more to make him look like a dinosaur. But that's not even the problem. The problem is, I don't even know why they had this dinosaur in this movie. He shows up in the very beginning, the opening sequence, and then we don't see the dinosaur again till the last 10 minutes of the movie. What was the point? And my final negative. Steven, my boy. We need to talk. Me and you. We need to have a discussion on romance. I don't know what's going on with you lately. You know, you used to have romance in your movies. You know, you go back to even the first Jurassic Park. Laura Dern, Sam Neill. Go back to other movies. Indiana Jones. Romance. Where's the romance? Where's the swan of these? You know, Jeremy Piven, the family man. Where's the romance? Where's the swan of these? I know. Do we not do romance in these movies anymore? Do we not do romance in big blockbusters anymore? Even Transformers. You ended that movie with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox making out on the Camaro with the Linkin Park music. Have we forgotten? And you produced that movie. Have you forgotten about romance in movies? Big blockbuster movies? Romance? Is it now the second time, Steven? I'm not happy. You did it last year in Twisters. Daisy Edgar Jones, Glenn Powell, chemistry, and then that very end there, he runs to the airport, you know, he's about to go and kiss her. No, we're not doing that. And what did you say? Well, we didn't want to, that wasn't the point of the movie. The original Twister had Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt make out at the end. You got the action, you got the laugh, you got the romance, you got the disaster. It's a 4-quadrant movie. You're missing a quadrant. And now we have a Jurassic Park movie. The action, the effects, the big scope, the horror, but no romance. Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, great chemistry, and you feel that chemistry. You feel it. But at the end of the movie, no moment of let's make out, let's kiss. You have this you even see it on the red carpet, how fucking chemistry they have. And then you see it in the movie, you're like, what are you doing? I don't get it anymore. Why don't we have romance in movies anymore? Really, what is going on with this? 2 big blockbusters and no romance. Not even the last Mission Impossible. No romance. Can we get some damn romance in these damn summer blockbusters? Isn't that hard? Is it? One kiss, that's it. The chemistry is there. The romantic tension is there. Can we just go for it? We used to do that in movies. We used to do that in Jurassic Park movies. We did that in Twister movies. We did that in Transformers movies. All movies you produced, Steven. I'm looking at you. But now, we don't do that? No romance? The 4-quadrant? No? We don't want to do that anymore? I don't get it. Not even here's the other thing. It's not even about Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey. We have another group in this movie who the older daughter has her boyfriend there. And you see no scenes of them kissing, making out. Nothing. Boyfriend, girlfriend, teenagers. You know how horny teenagers are? And you're not going to have them make out? What are we doing here? I'll stop that now. I don't get it. You have a group that has the sexual tension over here, but then you have another group who has really a boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're not doing anything. What is wrong here? The original will always mean the best, no matter what. Even Steven Spielberg couldn't replicate the first one in the second movie, The Lost World. So, but I do think this is actually better than probably easily the last two movies. I still particularly like Jurassic World, but like I said, I might need to see this new one again and really have a decision on if I like it better than even Jurassic World. I like it better than Jurassic Park 3, so at least we'll be in the middle, if anything. And maybe I'll go see it again over the 4th of July weekend when the movie finally does come out. But let me know in the comments below, did you see the new Jurassic World Rebirth? Were you one of those people that went and saw the Screen Unseen or mystery movie on Monday and were surprised that it was Jurassic World? Let me know in the comments below. I would probably give this at least a 4.3 out of 5. I enjoyed it. You know, I still think it's a fun summer blockbuster. You get the action, you get some humor, you get dinosaurs. What can go wrong? Well, you can die, of course. Anyway. But let me know in the comments below. Matt the Matt here. And once again, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and hold on to your butts.